Hello and welcome to my vlog, Everyday Privacy. I've been planning for some time to finally start recording and upload a video on data privacy. What could be the better time than to upload the video on January 28th when the world celebrates Data Privacy Day? So for my first video, I would like to talk about being a privacy lawyer and just give you an idea of what it's all about. I have been a privacy lawyer since 2017, and currently I am part of the privacy office of one of the big telecommunications companies in the Philippines. When we talk about the duties of a privacy lawyer, in my case, my day-to-day work, I would classify them into 5 different categories. Okay, this is to review, to respond, to report, to write, and to relate. Let's first start with review. So what do I review? As a privacy lawyer, I review contracts, I review privacy notices, I review consent forms, and I also review other data privacy related documentation. So what makes my job a bit different is that I actually do not write these contracts, privacy notices, consent forms, other privacy documentation. Most of the time, these have already been drafted by business proponents or even by lawyers coming from our counterparties. And then when it comes to me, I do just review them. And when I review them, I also take a look at the privacy impact assessment, which gives me an idea what this contract is actually all about or what privacy activities should be covered by this privacy notice. Of course, it is not all the time that I get a document that has already been drafted for me. There will be times when I would also be the one to write them myself. This is not as frequent as the instances where I already have the drafted document for my review. Okay, so the next category of functions that I perform is to respond. So when I say respond, what this usually means is that I write letters in response to letters from our data subjects. This could be employees. This could be other stakeholders that for some reason or other have been affected by the data processing activities of the company that I work for. So usually, we call these letters that come from these data subjects as exercise of rights or as data subject access requests. I'm not sure if you're familiar with data subject rights, but if you go to the Data Privacy Act, this could be the right to information, the right to access information about them, the right to withdraw or object to the processing of their information, the right to data portability, the right to complain, and the right to damages. So letters of this tenor that are written to the company are received by me and responded to by me. Another type of letter that I respond to is the letter coming from the regulators or government offices. So when it comes to regulators, in this case, primarily the National Privacy Commission, I get letters requesting information, or I get orders in relation to investigation or other inquiries that the National Data Privacy Commission is doing. So it's my job to respond to these orders or letters. Okay, the third category of function that I perform is to report. What do I report on? I report on breach notifications. So as you may know, there are certain personal data breaches that are covered by the mandatory notification requirement of the Data Privacy Act. Then I need to report that incident not only to the National Privacy Commission, but I also need to notify the affected data subjects of the incident. Aside from that, I also respond to regulatory reports that may require inputs from the Privacy Office. Examples of this would be the other reports that are required by the National Privacy Commission, such as, for instance, the annual security incident report that must be submitted every March 30. There is also the sustainability report that is being required by the Securities and Exchange Commission. If you are familiar with the sustainability report, there is a portion there that would require inputs from privacy under the customer pillar. So usually, the type of reports that we would submit would be the type of data breaches involving customers, whether we have reported this to the National Privacy Commission, and other related information. The fourth type of function that I perform would be to write. As I said earlier, there are some instances where contracts have not been drafted yet. So it falls to me to draft data sharing agreements, data outsourcing agreements. This could also be non-disclosure agreements or other documentations involving our transactions relating to privacy. Aside from that, I also sometimes contribute or draft press releases relating to privacy issues that have an impact on the company or that involve the company. Finally, the last category of functions that I perform as a privacy lawyer is to relate. Under the relate functions, I do liaison work with external counsel. This would mean either monitoring the progress of cases that are being handled by them or working closely with them when we file pleadings, when we respond to orders or other letters from regulatory authorities. I also represent the company in regulatory meetings. This could be meetings with the National Privacy Commission. It could also be meetings with other regulatory authorities when they are discussing matters that have impact on privacy. There are times when I also represent the company in legislative hearings. This occurs when there is a bill that is being put forward by the National Privacy Commission, or it could also be a bill that would have an impact on privacy. Aside from that, I also represent the company in privacy industry functions. This could be the Privacy Awareness Month and related activities of the National Privacy Commission. This could also be meetings of the Data Privacy Council of the Philippines, or this could be conferences, talks, seminars that are being organized by other entities and where they request the company to be represented or to share some insights on our data privacy operations. And finally, I also support or act as secretariat of the Data Privacy and Information Security Committee. As a privacy lawyer, my job is to serve as secretariat of that DPISC committee. And sometimes I also do presentations on certain topics, particularly when it comes to regulations, when it comes to proposed laws, or when it comes to the status of the cases that we are handling. As you can see, I do perform a lot of functions as a privacy lawyer. But you have to take note as well that these are functions that I perform as an in-house counsel. So I would imagine that privacy lawyers who work in law firms, who work as external counsels or consultants, also have other duties. So perhaps in one of our future episodes, we would be tackling that as well. Ideally, maybe we could have one of the privacy lawyers performing the job of an external counsel as a guest so we can have more information of the jobs that they actually do. Thank you for joining me on this first episode of Everyday Privacy. I hope you subscribe to my videos as we take a look at more privacy issues and discuss and share my experiences as a privacy lawyer. Thank you. Until the next episode. Bye-bye.